Let's be real, your life is a mess, and deep down you know it. But here's the real question: why? Is it bad luck? Is it other people holding you back? Or is it you? We live in a world that teaches us to blame, to complain, to wait for someone else to fix things. But the harsh truth: no one is coming to save you. If you keep living like this, you'll wake up 10 years from now in the exact same place, or worse. But there's a way out. The ancient Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, understood what most people ignore: that your thoughts, habits, and perspective are either ruining your life or saving it. In this video, I'm going to share 10 life-changing Stoic lessons that will not only help you stay strong in the face of adversity, but will also transform your mindset to have a better life. The first 2 lessons lay the foundation for your journey, but the last 2, lessons 9 and 10, are the real game changers. If you embrace them, they might just redefine your entire life. Before we dive in, get comfortable, grab a coffee, tea, or whatever helps you focus. If you're tired of living a life that is out of your control and lack of clarity is holding you back from having the life that you dreamed of, stay with me until the end. It's time to take control of your mind, your emotions, and your destiny. And trust me, you don't want to miss any of the key lessons. If you're ready to stop self-sabotaging and take control, keep watching. This isn't just another motivational speech. This is a wake-up call. Let's dive in. 1. You are controlled by your emotions. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Imagine this: you're having a great day, the sun is shining, things are going your way, and then, out of nowhere, something happens. Someone says something that stings. A plan falls apart. You feel that familiar rush of frustration, sadness, or fear creeping in. And just like that, your emotions take over. You snap, you shut down, you avoid. The rest of your day is no longer yours. It belongs to that fleeting feeling. Sound familiar? The truth is, your emotions are running the show. You let anger speak before you do. You let rejection convince you to quit. You wait to feel ready before you take action. And worst of all, you justify it. But what if, in that crucial moment, you did something different? Mastering your emotions. Picture this. The next time anger rises, instead of snapping, you pause, just for a moment. You take a deep breath. 1, 2, 3. 10 seconds pass. The fire inside you cools just enough for you to choose your response instead of being a slave to it. Or imagine you've just faced rejection. Instead of letting it sink you, you grab a notebook. You write down exactly how you feel, raw, unfiltered. And as you read your own words, you start to see a pattern. You realize rejection isn't a stop sign. It's a lesson, a test, a chance to rise again. You don't deny your emotions. You don't suppress them. Instead, you understand them. And because of that, you control them, not the other way around. Emotions are powerful, but you are more powerful. Take control, and you'll unlock a strength you never knew you had. Now, go reclaim your power. 2. You chase pleasure instead of meaning. While we waste our time hesitating and postponing, life is slipping away. Seneca. It starts the same way every time. You sit down for just a moment, just to check your phone. Just 5 minutes, you tell yourself. Then 5 turns into 30. 30 turns into an hour. Before you know it, the sun has set, and you have nothing to show for the day. The worst part, it's not just today. It's yesterday, last week, last month. You've lost count of how many times you've let time slip through your fingers, trading it for empty distractions. You scrolled, you binged, you partied, you spent money on things you didn't need, And for a brief moment, it felt good. But now you just feel hollow, and you wonder, why do I feel so empty? Every mindless distraction gives you pleasure now, but steals from your future. You chase fleeting highs instead of building something that lasts. You avoid discomfort, but discomfort is where growth happens. This isn't just a bad habit, it's a cycle, and unless you break it, you'll keep waking up to the same feeling, like something is missing. Choosing meaning over pleasure. Now, picture this. One day, you decide to change. It's not some grand dramatic transformation. It starts small. You swap 30 minutes of scrolling for 30 minutes of learning. You skip one night out to work on a dream you've been ignoring. You trade quick pleasure for something deeper. At first, it's uncomfortable. Your brain craves the easy, effortless hit of dopamine. But you push through. Days turn into weeks. You start feeling different, not just entertained, but fulfilled. You go to bed with a sense of pride instead of regret. And then, one day, you realize you're no longer a slave to empty distractions. You're building something real, because life isn't meant to be wasted in the glow of a screen. It's meant to be lived, built, and felt. Now, go take back your time. 3. You complain instead of taking action. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Seneca. It starts with a sigh. Something goes wrong. Maybe your boss piles on extra work, your bank account balance isn't what you hoped, or someone lets you down. Frustration rises, and before you know it, you're venting. You text a friend, post online, replay the situation in your head, telling yourself how unfair it is. And for a moment, it feels good. Complaining gives you an outlet, a brief sense of relief, like you're doing something. But then the moment fades. The work is still there. The bank account hasn't changed. The situation is the same. And so is the problem. Complaining is easy. Action is hard. The world doesn't owe you anything. No one is coming to fix your life for you. No one respects a victim mindset, not even you. Because deep down, you know the truth. Complaining never solves anything. It only keeps you stuck. But what if, just once, you did something different? Radical responsibility. Imagine this. The next time frustration hits, you stop. You catch yourself mid-complaint and ask, what can I do about this? Instead of venting, you grab a notebook. You write down your biggest complaints, every single one. And then, one by one, you rewrite them as actions. I hate my job. Apply for a better one. Learn a new skill. Start a side hustle. I never have enough money. Track your spending. Create a budget. Look for new income streams. I feel out of shape. Go for a walk. Do a daily set of push-ups. Choose water over soda. It won't be easy. Taking action never is. But here's the thing. The moment you stop waiting and start moving, everything changes. Suddenly, you're not a victim of your problems. You're the one solving them. Because at the end of the day, you have two choices. Be bitter or be better. Choose wisely. Now, go take back your power. 4. You are addicted to the opinions of others. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Seneca. I used to live for approval. Every post I made, every decision I took, every word I spoke, I measured it against one question: what will people think? If I shared an opinion, I worried it might offend someone. If I tried something new, I feared I'd look stupid. If I walked into a room, I wondered if I was being judged. I was so busy managing perceptions that I forgot to live. But then one day, it hit me. Nobody was thinking about me as much as I thought they were. People are too busy with their own lives to analyze yours. No matter what you do, someone will judge you, so do it anyway. If you live for others' approval, you will die full of regret. That last one stung the most. The idea that I could reach the end of my life, look back, and realize I never truly lived for me, that scared me more than any judgment ever could. So I made a decision. Becoming unapologetically you. I stopped asking for permission to be myself. I made choices based on my values, not someone else's approval. I went to places alone, sat with my own thoughts, and learned to enjoy my own company. At first it felt strange, like stepping into the unknown without a map. But then something changed. The more I trusted myself, the lighter I felt. The more I let go of others' opinions, the freer I became. And one day I realized I wasn't performing anymore. I was just being. Because the moment you stop living for them is the moment you finally start living for you. Now, go be unapologetically yourself. 5. You lack financial discipline. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Epictetus. I know what it's like to watch your paycheck hit your account and disappear just as fast. I know the rush of impulse spending, the thrill of buying something new, the temporary high of swiping the card. And I know the sinking feeling that comes afterward, the regret, the realization that once again I had spent more than I should have. I told myself, I'll start saving next month. But next month turned into next year. And next year turned into a lifetime of living paycheck to paycheck. You don't struggle with money because you have to. You struggle because you lack control. Impulse spending isn't just hurting your wallet, it's robbing your future. You think saving is for later, but later never comes if you don't change now. I had to face a hard truth. I was the problem, my habits, my mindset, my choices. But that also meant I was the solution. Mastering your money. One day, I made a promise to myself. I tracked every dollar I spent, every coffee, every online order, every careless swipe of my card. And for the first time, I saw where my money was really going. I made one simple rule: save before I spend, not after. I stopped telling myself I deserved things I couldn't afford. I learned to delay gratification, to sit with the discomfort of wanting without giving in. It wasn't easy, but neither was being broke. And the more disciplined I became, the more powerful I felt. My savings grew. My stress faded. For the first time, I was in control. Because real wealth isn't about what you own. It's about the freedom that comes from mastering your choices. Now, go build the life your future self will thank you for. 6. You neglect relationships that matter. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. I used to tell myself I was too busy chasing success, too busy with work, deadlines, personal goals. I convinced myself there would always be time later for that phone call, that visit, that I love you. But later is a dangerous lie. One day, I got a call. Someone I cared about deeply was gone. No warning, no second chances. Just a sudden, gut-wrenching realization. I had wasted time I could never get back. And all the excuses I had made, every "I'll call them tomorrow," every text I left unanswered, suddenly felt hollow. Because tomorrow isn't guaranteed. You prioritize work, distractions, and ego over the people who matter most. You assume they'll always be there, but they won't. You don't say, "I love you" enough. And one day, you might wish you had. That was the hardest lesson I ever learned. Because in the end, success is meaningless if you have no one to share it with. Investing in real relationships. I made a change. I started calling, not texting, actually calling, the people I love. I stopped waiting for others to reach out first. I apologized when I was wrong, instead of letting pride keep me distant. I put my phone down and looked people in the eyes when they spoke, and something incredible happened. My life started to feel fuller, because relationships are the heartbeat of life. They are what truly matter when everything else fades. So don't wait. Call them today. Tell them you love them, because later is never promised. 7. You waste time like you have forever. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Marcus Aurelius. I used to live like time was unlimited. I scrolled mindlessly, telling myself I'd start that project tomorrow. I wasted hours on things that didn't matter, convinced I had all the time in the world. Then one day, reality punched me in the face. I was sitting at a funeral, listening to people talk about someone who thought they had more time too. Someone who had dreams they never chased, words they never said, and moments they kept putting off until there were no more left. And it hit me. One day, someone will be standing over my grave saying the same things. Would they say I lived, that I chased what mattered, that I made every second count? Or would they say, he always said, later? You waste time on things that don't move you forward. You say, tomorrow to things that should be done today. Every second that passes is one you'll never get back. And one day, whether you're ready or not, you'll wake up and realize there's no more time left to waste. Mastering your time. So I made a decision. I stopped letting distractions steal my life. I set clear priorities and stuck to them. I replaced mindless scrolling with intentional action. I treated time like currency, because it is. And I asked myself every single day, if today was my last day, would I be proud of how I spent it? Because here's the truth. Time isn't running out. It's already gone. Every moment that slips away is one you can't get back. So stop waiting. Start living. Because one day, tomorrow won't come. 8. You are not investing in your skills. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Seneca. I used to believe that success was about timing, that some people just got lucky, that opportunities would come if I waited long enough. So I waited, and nothing happened. Meanwhile, I watched others move ahead, getting better jobs, starting businesses, building lives I dreamed of. At first I told myself they had advantages I didn't, but deep down I knew the truth. They weren't lucky. They were prepared, and I wasn't. You are stagnant because you stopped learning. Skills, not wishes, create opportunities. If you're not growing, you're not standing still, you're falling behind. That realization shook me. I wasn't unlucky. I was unprepared. And every day I spent waiting was another day wasted. So I made a decision. Committing to growth. I picked up a book instead of my phone. I stopped scrolling and started learning. I took courses, found mentors, and practiced skills that mattered. I did things that made me uncomfortable, because growth lives outside comfort. At first, progress was slow. But then opportunities started appearing, not because luck changed, but because I did. The world doesn't wait for you to be ready, so start today, because the future belongs to those who prepare for it. 9. You let fear of failure control you. It is not death that a man should fear, but never beginning to live. Marcus Aurelius. I almost didn't start. The idea was there. The dream was clear, but every time I thought about taking action, fear whispered in my ear, "What if you fail?" So I hesitated, overthought, talked myself out of it. And while I was busy waiting for the perfect moment, someone else, less afraid, less ready than me, went for it. And they won. Not because they were better, not because they had more talent, but because they tried, while I stood still. and I realized something painful. Fear wasn't stopping me. I was stopping me. Fear has kept you from chasing your dreams. You choose comfort over courage, and it's costing you everything. Every successful person has failed repeatedly. The difference, they kept going. That's when it hit me. Failure isn't the enemy. Inaction is. Taking control of fear. So I stopped letting fear make my decisions. I decided to fail on purpose, to take risks, to mess up, to fall and get back up again and again, until failure became just another step forward. I challenged myself daily. I got comfortable being uncomfortable, and the more I failed, the less fear controlled me, because I finally understood the real failure isn't trying and falling short. The real failure is never trying at all. So go, take the leap. Fail if you must, but do not stand still, because the only way to lose is to never start. 10. You neglect your physical and mental health. A healthy body is a guest chamber for the soul. A sick body is a prison. Francis Bacon. There was a time when I thought I could outwork exhaustion. I skipped meals, lived on caffeine, and stayed up late chasing goals, convinced that grinding was the key to success. Rest? That was for the weak. Then, one day, my body decided it had enough. I woke up feeling drained, not just physically but mentally. My motivation disappeared, anxiety crept in, even simple tasks felt overwhelming. The mind I once prided myself on, the one that helped me push through anything, became my biggest obstacle. And it hit me. I wasn't failing because I wasn't working hard enough. I was failing because I had nothing left to give. Your diet, sleep and exercise fuel your energy and discipline. Ignoring your mental health leads to burnout, anxiety and regret. A weak body and mind make it harder to handle life's challenges. For years I had been running on fumes, thinking I could ignore the machine that carried me through life. But the truth is, your body and mind are your foundation. If they crumble, so does everything else. Prioritizing your well-being. So I made a change. I moved every day, not for aesthetics but for survival. I started eating food that fueled me instead of drained me. I set boundaries with work, gave myself permission to rest, and took care of my mental health like my future depended on it, because it did. And for the first time in a long time, I felt alive again. Because success isn't just about how much you do, it's about having the strength to keep going. So take care of yourself, because your goals mean nothing if you're too exhausted to reach them. Final thoughts. Your life is in your hands. There will come a day when you look back on your life, and in that moment you will see one of two things: a life of purpose, built by courage and action, or a life of regret, shaped by hesitation and excuses. The difference: the decisions you make right now. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now, you don't need more motivation. You don't need more time. You already have everything you need. But here's the hard truth. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you discipline, growth, or success. No one is going to force you to change. That's on you. Your final challenge: pick one thing, just one, from everything you've read and apply it today. Start before you're ready. Take the first step, even if it's small, because every excuse you make today becomes the regret you carry tomorrow. Because your future self is watching. Make them proud. If you're ready to unlock your full potential and tame a messy life, start applying these Stoic principles today. Take control of your mindset, build unshakable resilience, and turn challenges into opportunities for growth. Share this video with someone who needs a success-driven mindset. And don't forget to subscribe for more powerful insights on Stoicism and personal excellence. Stay focused, stay relentless, and keep pushing forward toward your greatest success.